Right now, the United States holds the title for the world's most powerful military. It's a position they've held for decades, with a budget and technological edge that no other country can match. But here is a question that on a lot of people's minds. Will that still be true in 10 years? The world is changing fast, and the future of global power is more uncertain than ever. Let's start with the raw numbers, because they are staggering. The U.S. defense budget is larger than the next 10 countries combined. We're talking about an unparalleled fleet of aircraft carriers, the most advanced fighter jets like the F-35, a massive and well-trained army, and a global network of military bases. This isn't just about having more tanks or ships. It's about the ability to project power anywhere on the globe, anytime. This is what's known as power projection, and no one does it better than the U.S. This capability is built on decades of investment, research, and strategic alliances. The military strength isn't just about what you have today. It's about what you'll have tomorrow. And this is where things get interesting. The U.S. is a leader in military research and development, pouring billions into next-generation technology. Think about things like artificial intelligence, drone swarms, hypersonic missiles, and cyber warfare. These are the battlefields of the future, and the Pentagon is determined to dominate them. Projects from DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, sound like they're straight out of science fiction, but they're very real. And they're designed to give the U.S. military an edge that will last for generations. However, the U.S. isn't operating in a vacuum. Other global powers are rising, and they have their own ambitions. China, in particular, is rapidly modernizing its military, the People's Liberation Army. They've been on a mission, investing heavily in their navy, developing their own stealth fighters, and pouring resources into the same future tech. The U.S. is exploring. Their military budget has been growing at a breakneck pace. They're not just trying to catch up, they're aiming to leapfrog in certain areas. For example, their focus on anti-ship ballistic missiles is specifically designed to challenge the dominance of U.S. aircraft carriers in the Pacific. This is what military strategists call an anti-Axis area denial, or a TUA strategy. Then there's Russia. While its economy is much smaller, Russia has a long history of military prowess and has proven it can punch above its weight. They've focused on asymmetric warfare, cyber capabilities, and have made significant strides in hypersonic weapons, even claiming to have fielded some already. Russia is adept at using its military to achieve political goals without engaging in a full-scale conflict, using tactics like disinformation campaigns and cyber attacks to destabilize rivals. Their strategy isn't about matching the US dollar for dollar, but about finding clever and cost-effective ways to challenge American interests. So, we have this dynamic. The established superpower, the U.S., is trying to maintain its lead while facing challenges from a rapidly rising economic and military giant, China, and a strategically savvy and disruptive Russia. It's a three-way race in many respects, and the competition is fierce. One of the biggest factors that will decide the future is technology. The next major conflict might not be won by the side with the most ships, but by the side with the smartest algorithms. NATO, the treaty with Japan and South Korea, the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance. This network gives the U.S. a global reach that no other country can replicate. These allies provide bases, share intelligence, and multiply America's military power. However, these alliances have been tested in recent years, and their future strength isn't guaranteed. It depends on diplomacy, shared values, and a mutual understanding of threats. Another huge factor is the economy. A strong military requires a strong economy to fund it. The U.S. has the world's largest economy, which allows it to sustain its massive defense spending. But mounting national debt and domestic priorities could put pressure on future defense budgets. If the economy falters, it could become harder to fund the expensive research and procurement needed to stay ahead. China, on the other hand, has had decades of explosive economic growth, which has directly fueled its military modernization. While their growth is slowing, their economic power is undeniable and gives them the resources to continue their military expansion for the foreseeable future. So, let's bring it all together. Will the US still be number one in 10 years? The most likely answer is yes, but its lead will almost certainly be smaller. It will be a much more contested and competitive world. The US will likely retain its overall global power projection capabilities, especially its naval and air power. No other country is close to building a fleet of 11 supercarriers. However, in specific regions, like the Western Pacific, China's military might will pose a very credible challenge. We could see a situation where the US is the global leader, but China is the regional hedge. The nature of power is also changing. Cyber attacks, economic influence, and information warfare are becoming just as important as traditional military force. The US will need to be dominant in these new domains as well. The future isn't just about who has the best fighter jet. It's about who has the most resilient infrastructure, the most secure networks, and the most influential narrative. So, while the US is in a strong position, maintaining that top spot is not a given. It will require smart investments, technological innovation, strong alliances, and a robust economy. The next decade will be critical. The decisions made today in Washington, Beijing, and Moscow will shape the global security landscape for years to come. The era of unquestioned American military supremacy is evolving into a new, more complex era of great power competition. The Race-son and the world will be watching to see who comes out on top. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis interesting, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into global affairs. We'll see you in the next one.